Alright, hello everyone. It's time for an information live stream recap. And this is a big one because obviously we just had the second anniversary live stream. And that's kind of, it's kind of a major thing. It's kind of a major thing when we get a, live stream. It started late tonight. But first of all, shout out to Minute Havoc as well as Keto. Two other streamers slash content creators who joined me in for the live stream. It was a ton of fun streaming with them, and we even got Diggs joining in as well. So that's great because honestly, it's way more fun doing these when there's someone else to suffer with me. Anyway. So tonight there was a lot of information, a lot of stuff to get through. So first of all, we'll get the very obvious thing out of the way, which is our next collaboration. At first we were a little bit curious when or what our next collaboration was going to be, and here it is. So yeah, we got it. We got Final Fantasy VI as our new collaboration that is related partially to the fact that the Pixel Remaster will be coming out. So here we are. So there you go. That is our second anniversary collaboration going for War of the Visions. This one will probably not be coming till global until their second anniversary, but that gives you plenty of time to get ready. So let's talk about it. Couple of extra points before we get into the really obvious stuff. You did see two characters that are probably going to play a major important role in the near future. Death Guys, which I do believe is the creature you saw in the video as well. You did see, very interestingly, Kefka. Kefka is also in the video. He is not announced as a character yet, but much in the same way that Golbez, this is probably going to be what happens with Kefka. We're going to see part 1 here with these three characters, and then later on we're going to see Kefka in part 2. That seems to be a thing. So let's talk about the characters, because what we do know for certain that we are getting right now is we are getting Tina, or Terra, because she is known as Tina on the JP side. We are getting Locke, and we are getting Celeste, and that's a pretty big group. We're also going to be getting a vision card, so Locke and Celeste will come first, Locke and Tina will come first. Celeste will come on a second banner on the 22nd, so a little bit later, but not too much later. So let's skip ahead. There's our infographic, and what you're going to see is you're going to see the characters element. Tina, or Terra, is fire, Locke is light, and Celeste is water. As for the vision card, no idea who it's going to be specifically for, but if I had to guess, probably going to be for Terra. Now, as you saw also in the promotional video, Locke is going to be the free character, the character that you get the first copy of free, and then you have to provide the rest of your shards to get them maxed. So, let's just get right into it, talking about what each of the characters can do, and we're just gonna speed forward. Alright, so here is Terra, based on her Amano art, which seems to be the way that most modern Final Fantasies go, even though in the original game she had green hair. Anyway, let's talk about what she is. So she is a 90 cost limited UR fire unit. Main job is considered to be Magical Warrior, although it's an FF6 original job. Sub will be Magic Swordsman and Paladin. Paladin giving her guts. She has a limit burst similar to Ranan that will give her spirit penetration for 3 turns. So she's very similar to Ranan in terms of her limit burst. In terms of her damaging capabilities, just since there's so much information, I can't exactly remember all of it, but basically she's a upfront magical attacker that deals with both slash and magic attacks, and she can stand up against evasive characters with range attacks, as well as she is capable of sure hit abilities. And not only that, but she is also capable, let's just skip video, skip ahead a bit. She's capable of dealing AoE damage, and as you can see, she's got Viraga Blade as well as Meridon, Meltdown, I think it is in the English version, and then a buff ability that is supportive, as I have said, of range attacks, I believe, is the resistance she gives. So what we're essentially looking at is a fire DPS. So if you think about what she's going to be really good with, she's going to be really good with slashing characters and magic characters. And thankfully fire has both of those, and fire is in a really good spot right now. So I'm going to just say that, yeah, this is probably a really good get for any mage fans. Will she be as good as Ranan? Probably not, because it doesn't look like she has quite as many AoEs, and it'll be interesting to see. Paladin giving her guts means that she will be pretty defensive, but I don't know if she'll be defensive enough that as Ranan is. I think Ranan's just going to be probably the overall better character, but it's a little presumptuous at this point. So next up, a very young looking Locke, as we can see here. He plays the role as a frontline attacker who is an evasive character, possessing dispel attacks, AP reduction, and recovery, in addition to possessing new effects that increase reaction prevention rate. So I'll explain that in a second. First of all, his limit burst is a light resistance down, so it will probably be a good idea to build Locke regardless of how much you like him. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Locke, I can already see him being really good. Main job is Treasure Hunter, sub job is Fighter, sub job Nightblade. So we'll see what abilities he gets from both of those. But not bad overall. 2 newer jobs, which means he'll probably have pretty good stats. So as you can see here are some of his damage abilities. As we said, he has that Dispel ability. And the big one is the AP Drain, which is an AoE AP drain that drains off of enemies, restores his own AP. And do I really need to explain more about how that's interesting? It'll be interesting to see exactly how much he's capable of dealing and restoring, but probably going to be a great little free character to get your hands on. As for the bottom ability, this is the ability which essentially provides a buff. So in other words, there are characters out there who have abilities that can basically cut off reaction abilities. Locke is capable of increasing resistance against those attacks. In other words, meaning you can't get your reaction ability shut off as much as it was before, and I think this is a good ability to get. It will give Locke a little bit of a unique identity, and he's already a free character, so building him should be a somewhat priority. Now, skipping ahead a bit, skipping ahead a lot, we have our third character, and the one that I am definitely the most interested in is Celeste, a water attribute you are. Main job is Empire Rune Knight, sub job is Magic Swords Fighter, sub is Red Mage. So Red Mage is interesting, should mean a really good AP start in case she doesn't already have that in her main job. But taking a look at Celeste, Celeste is incredibly interesting. She is a hate tank that can also use magic resistant, or that can also is a magic resistant tank with magical swords that have unique effects. So first of all, her limit burst not only deals damage, it also gives her all attack type resistance. Think Whisper 2.0, but much, much better. As we've already said, she has hate generation in her kit. She is capable of, and this is the really weird thing, one of her abilities has the capability of canceling out a magic attack, from the way I understand it. And interestingly, if it is an AoE magic attack that would hit your allies, it cancels it out for them too. So out of all of the units, I'm saying right now that I think that our girl Celeste here is going to be the most interesting of all three characters. I think Locke is going to be the second most interesting, but he's free, so I'm not putting him as high on the priority list. However, that being said, I think that Terra is probably going to be the most likely straightforward good, and Celeste is a little bit more experimental, but I'm way more interested in that. And water as an element needs a really good strong tank. I'm just curious. I mean, she's capable of canceling out attacks. She's capable of, all like increasing her own resistance. So this is the character I'm the most curious about and the most interested in building. Out of all the elemental characters, yeah, this is the one that I want the most. Alright, so skipping ahead a bit, we will go on and talk about the stages. As you can see, there are two new pieces of equipment at the first part, Locke's dagger and Terra's sword, and Celeste's sword in part 2. As for that, there will also be event medals and event boss of Kefka, so yippee! All of that good stuff. As normal, you will end up getting a free pull at the start that will give you a guaranteed lock, and potentially you can get some more stuff off of it, but Terra will not be included on the rates. That is to be expected, but I think it's pretty obvious that it won't. As for login rewards, you will get some shards to help you get some extra shards towards Terra and Locke, and some tickets, but not very many for a chance to get Terra and Locke. Best of luck to everyone. Don't expect it to really work out that amazing. Alright. However, we do need to talk just a little bit about the second collaboration, because as it turns out today, the FF14 delay of Endwalker was not the only disappointment to be had. We had the announcement of a second collaboration that will be happening shortly after FF6 has begun. Final Fantasy XIV will be returning in a rerun event. However, for anyone who had big hopes for this, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this one's just super disappointing. First of all, Thancred and Y'shtola will be getting their EX. They will also be getting voices added to them, which I'm sure people will be happy about, but unfortunately that kind of feels where most of the good news kind of ends. So first of all, Thancred will have a range attack of defense down. He will also have increasements to his barrier that lowers his AP consumption on other abilities, as well as removing his HP consumption on that ability. And he can play an active role in debuffing characters with high defense. Also, a master ability 2, which has already been implemented, will be revised upwards. So in other words, his Master Ability 2 is going to get improved, and everyone who plays the game will get a free Thancred, and getting him to EX seems to be something that you can just do in the game, but that's about it. As with Thancred, I just don't have super high hopes that they're going to perfect him, because he's sounding like a free unit now, and a free unit, I just don't see them making that good. Again, fingers crossed. I want him to be good. I just don't think it's going to happen here because this kit is way too old. Continuing on, we also had the announcement of, oh, there's his new ability, Gunbreaker 2 or whatever it is. It's AoE at least, but it only does medium damage, so I will really need to see what his Master Ability 2 gets revised to being, because at this point, not good enough. As for Y'shtola, Y'shtola is probably going to stay mostly the same, but her performance is going to be changed to even higher of a DPS, so we'll just take a look here. A new high range and high damage attack that has capable of dealing way more damage, so her new ability that can grant magic attack, resistance penetration, and human killer will be added to her kit, and you will be able to play active roles. In addition, of course, she is getting a voice, and 2 of her old abilities will get improved by basically giving them, more damage capabilities. Essentially, Ishtola just goes all in on DPS, and that's essentially where she will stay. Both of these units, whether or not they'll be good enough, we'll find out as of the 22nd. And I'm really disappointed that there's just no new FF14 characters. There's no new FF14 equipment. The only thing that we are seeing added is a new vision card, and details about that yet to be announced. But there you go. FF14 vision card. I guess that's it. Next up, we had the introduction of our brand new character for the Warriors of the Crystal. So say hello to the Warrior of Ice. Ice is our new element, and his story will be taking place with Stern and Mont. No idea what it will be exactly about right now because I didn't bother looking, but Ice will be the December character. Called it. And interestingly enough, on stream, after a lot of prattle, we also know that Chapter 4 will add Lucio's Limit Burst to the game, so Lucio will be getting a Limit Burst along with Chapter 4, leaving Chapter 5 with our last character, which should be coming right up here. There's Lucio's Limit Burst, being capable of making light damage more powerful. And skipping ahead, we'll get there eventually. Here he is, the Warrior of the Crystal of Darkness has also been unveiled. His artwork was shown off. This is what he looks like. Looks really cool. Not as... I was worried he was just going to have all black armor, but he looks actually really different. He actually looks like a more adult, kind of an adult version of Lucio, actually. So that's interesting. We'll see exactly how that works in the future. Continuing on was announcement of a new elemental VC, Chaos Odin. It seems that chaotic summon beasts that are more powerful due to the magic power of the summoner at the end of the world will appear. There will be many chaotic summons other than Odin, so it appears they will be more in the future. It seems that they are planning to add new elements to the game, so we'll have to wait for a full report, but essentially some summons are going to be getting new versions of them. We see Odin as the first one. No idea when these cards are coming out, but since it's a chaos summon and we were shown the Warrior of Darkness, I'm willing to bet that this is our big new thing in January. But, hold on for that news in the future. Alright, skipping ahead past all the games and Hirano, and I can make another video about that later. But we also had our live stream tournament, which came down to being a really interesting matchup between, I believe it was Mono Ice and Mono Fire. Was that it? No? Sorry, there's a lot of information to keep straight in my head. Yeah, it was Mono Fire versus a multi-elemental team with Oberon, Helena, and Halloween Leela, and the winner ended up being Setia, Mont, and Fire Glassy as the best team in the tournament, so congratulations to these guys. They were able to clinch it out and win in the end. Alright, popularity polls were announced. What is it? The Double Gunner girl, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. She won character you most wanted to sit by. Jaden won I most wanted to be your boss. And last but not least was Black Witch Helena winning the swimsuit contest. So probably next summer, say hello to Black Witch Helena in a swimsuit. So all of that was basically a lot of the news, but we still have some more stuff to get through because there was some new things are going to be added to the game itself. So just give me a second to scroll through. Hey, here it is. So say hello to the Trust Mastery Improvement System. So via these stones, you will be able to actually upgrade vision cards in the future. So how this works exactly, you need the actual Trust Mastery. You'll be able to unlock specific slots, and boy, at this point, I mean, it seems they plan to use adamantite and another thing to strengthen these stones, but exact details were not completely given out, and it seems they're still working out exactly how to do this, but it can improve stats, it can improve added effects, it can do apparently a lot of different things. So for anybody wondering, yes, Super Trust Masteries were effectively added to the game. I'm just calling it right now. It has nothing to do with my bets. It just has to do with the fact that basically this is a strengthened Trust Mastery, or a Super Trust Mastery. STMR, there you go. Next up was a vision card enhancement system. So we got a new equipment slot that will be used with certain characters to equip another vision card. So this vision card apparently has to be level 99 if you're going to equip it, and it seems like it won't get 100% of the effect for the unit. Only certain units can equip it. They have to be at least 99, and the vision card has to be 99 from my understanding, and you won't get full stats off of it. So this system is still a work in progress by the sounds of it. And yeah, we'll wait and see what happens after all of that. There will also be a new item in the game. You saw it flash on screen for like a brief second there. There it is. This will be Forgotten Dew. It allows you to essentially reset a summon's SP usage. And continuing on, because there is just so much to talk about here. We also got monthly stuff to do with basically strengthening new sub-masteries. Double speed will now become triple speed for anyone who is above Royal Rank 8, and Royal Rank 1 will give speed 2, and Royal Rank 0 will give 1.5 from now on. So good news, Wales, you can now farm even faster. There were also a few other improvements to do with scheduling, such as event archive, job pool, or job point pool, so that you can transfer job points from one unit to another. And there's a few other things to do with vision card subframes, which we talked about earlier. And there's even more stuff planned in the future to deal with. Just skipping ahead a bit because they talk way too long about this. To do with guild battle matches, as well as pickup matches and other matches, having new changes to them. But it's long term and in the future, so the plans could change a bit. Other than that, there will be second anniversary campaigns, nothing too much special. Basically the usual stuff that we would expect, from triple drops to triple job points in different categories, as well as there will be a one selectable unit confirmed from a free summon, so you can pick any UR unit in the game that you want, so long as they're not 100 cost, they're not limited time, they're not best units, and they're not collaboration characters. So basically nothing. But hey, it's free! Also, there will be up to 100 consecutive UR one-slot summons, so free summons where at least one slot is guaranteed to give you a UR vision card or character. So out of 100, that means 10 free URs. It's not bad. Other than that, we saw just some giveaway packs, about 4,000 lapis, and different things such as, I believe, if I can find it, select tickets for unit shards and whatnot. So that's basically everything. I don't think I've left anything out. There wasn't really anything talked about for Final Fantasy Tactics tonight. It was not brought up, but you can probably expect it sometime in the future. And if I have forgotten anything, I apologize profusely because there is a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, and I'm very tired by the end of this live stream, so maybe I'll make another video of just stuff I've forgotten. But I think I've covered all the major points. Long story short, FF6 is the new collaboration and the thing that a lot of people will be excited about, and Final Fantasy XIV, big disappointment. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and see you next time.